So as you can see on your screens, ENCE will start off on the T side of Inferno with Fours rocking that CT side. Nothing out of the usual here for both sides. See more utility favored by ENCE. They'll make their way towards Banana. Fours with some presence. AleksiB, they're going to be trying to defend this, but it will be flicked to do the damage as well, as the nade's not quite working out for ENCE here. Fours stacking the players in the position that was most needed. They've guessed well there, and they have come out with a 4 versus 2. Not too bad.
More they can do, ENCE, if they can find the angles. Aerial, he's walking into a sandwich and he realizes that. You see Jerry backing off though. That was a crossfire. AleksiB taken out in isolation. Surely that was the play. They had a 2 versus X, but he kind of left his teammate to die. But maybe playing the long run, waiting for that smoke to disappear again, might be the play. And you can see AleksiB Power is here. So there are still 3 CTs remaining. But now he's down to the 1 versus 2. Ali won't be able to get it done. And Fours will take the pistol.
Yeah, so that's good job from them. ENCE really wanted a spot where they could set up deep Banana and then just run a set piece into the B-bomb site, guarantee the bomb plant at the very least. But of course, Fours went for a stack towards that B side of the map. You can see here they've got 3 players towards this position and they hit all of their shots. You can't really ask for too much more than that, and they will deny the plant as well. So that's going to see ENCE in this round not having any money to go for really any options. They've got a single flashbang, and that's it. Not even a P250. Looks like that flashbang will be for them to burst on towards the Banana position, perhaps expecting Fours to be aggressive there, but Fours are playing very cautiously, which, of course, we can respect.
Quietly creeping up the Banana position with these low-power Glocks. Aerial's got a flashbang. That is all the utility they have. A preemptive Molotov will slow things down, or incendiary for the pedantic. You can see the smoke grenade that AleksiB is waiting to use. Aerial's still holding on to that flashbang. And we just wait for the execution. You can see him holding. So who's going to be the first one in? Who's going to take the bullet for the team? Looks like suNny might be the one. 1 minute on the clock now. Fours not getting too curious on the A side of the map, using the range. And they're creeping. They can burst behind that smoke grenade, so this might work in their favor. The counter smoke won't come anytime soon, but there's no trade whatsoever. AleksiB delivering 4 headshots with the MP5, and Jerry to finish off the job. No damage done by ENCE.
Yeah, and that's to be expected, really. And it was a good attempt, but again, only a single flashbang invested, $200. That was it. All about this next round. Obviously a nice highlight for AleksiB, as well as getting the extra bucks in the bank with the MP5. But we move to round number 3 now, and we'll see the full selection of utility behind ENCE. But the AWP has been purchased by AleksiB Power, and he's a dab hand. We'll have to see what he can accomplish in this round, whether he'll be passive or aggressive. He's going towards Banana with the AWP, and he'll try to take a quick peek, but it'll be flashed backwards, so he can't find anything there, and there's a forward smoke as well. So the 3 players to start Banana can't get too much for Fours. And ENCE are prioritizing this map control towards the A side of the map instead.
How fast will they go? Smoke. Arch is isolated. There's the flashback to swing. suNny's in first. How many can he trade flip? Standing up, he's on the barrels. Down he goes. 3 versus 3, but no one's on the A bomb site for Fours now. 2 players bottom mid. We've got smokes all over the place. As the 3rd man, AleksiB Power makes his way into CT spawn. Jerry and AleksiB don't have a lot to fight with here in terms of utility. No flashes. That smoke is a pain, and it might be time to consider saving. You look at the money on Flip, Facecrack, and Jerry, and they could buy around this. Surely it's a risk not worth taking. I think Jerry's just collecting some bonus money in that defuse kit, and indeed, they will back away. Outmaneuvered, it's the right choice.
Do they have any utility or anything like that to make things complicated in the pit position? You know, I think it's pretty clear that we're going to see a save there for ENCE. A couple players going down there. No one really there to threaten anything. There's no HE grenade or anything like that from Fours to take down these saving players. And there we go. Fours will keep the AWPs, which is one of the most important components, of course, to their defense. And we'll have a pause now. So a moment for rumination as to the events that have passed and the events that are to come, as Fours are in a pretty interesting position. Their money's not very good. Obviously, they lost that last round. They saved 3 weapons. And so this, you know, one of the reasons why they struggled in that round is that they kept 3 players towards Banana early. Now, the reason that you do that is because when a team the average team's play on this map on the T side, that the average default will see banana control first and then top mid control at a later timing, maybe 1 minute to the 1:15 mark. But ENCE just went straight towards A, took that control faster, in a timing in which Force still only just had 2 players on that bomb site. So there wasn't too much they could do to defend.
The Bro Fists are out. Slow start for ENCE. But they're on the board now. 1 to the 2 of 4s. Man, I still miss that mousebot sign-up I was so fond of. Just like outside the game. I remember I had to interview them at E-League, and my questions were basically just about who the hype beasts are. You had Chris J with his little skull necklace. You had Rops with the I want to say Gucci slides, yeah, and then suNny with the Philipp line. Just the most outrageous shoes you'll ever see in esports. But I'm glad to have him back. Anyway, we'll see what ENCE are able to do. Nice jump throw of the Molotov. That's a good one to learn, actually, because I just run and throw it, which means I have to throw it from closer, which actually does leave me susceptible to somebody making a play in the balcony and shooting me in the head. So an early Molotov like that is actually quite important. If the CTs try and take an aggression towards the balcony, you will be better prepared for it.
ENCE are doing the same thing again here. They're just hitting towards the A bomb site in a timing where 4s are still stacking 3 towards B. So the 4s are getting pretty abused in that sense. I wonder if they'll be forced into adaptation, but looks like ENCE are going to fall back towards banana now. Just as Flit starts to rotate towards the A side of the map. And now it's just Jerry and Almeza left to defend towards B. And there's a smoke drop there by the CTs. A fresh smoke at the 1 minute mark. That's going to, of course, allow for the rotation. But Jerry and Flit going towards A. So right now, Force are playing quite a gamble style of CT defense, I have to say, James.
Well, what you didn't see off camera was a pop flash over the roof and a 2-man push at the top of banana to see what was going on, and then they did put the smoke down so they can buy time for a response. They had a well-timed smoke in the balcony when ENCE were looking to, it seemed they were looking to make a faster play. And now you can see them taking an aggression, walking into a crossfire as X7, and now there's an instant rotation from 2 players, but can they get to CT spawn fast enough? There's almost no utility. Almeza has the hold. He's got on to flash for him, and down he goes.
Did a lot of damage, though, to suNny. suNny's extremely weak. The bomb just barely will go down here, thanks to Alu. And there's the challenge from Jerry, but of course Alu was very weak, so easy fight for him to win, as now the CTs of 4 start to make their way forwards through the construction position. And life is not looking too bad. It's just Sergey and suNny to worry about. And again, suNny's on 5 HP. Surely he can't do too much here. A smoke goes down as well. He's going to have a perfect lineup for the spray onto the diffuser through the smoke. They're going to try to get it here. There comes the spray, but immediately the punish from Face Crack, and suNny's just going to hold this position, maybe trying to get some damage, caught QQing, and that's not going to work out very well for ENCE.
I wondered if they were lining up to try and boost or something behind the smoke, because they're moving pretty slowly, but didn't quite work out for them. Just couldn't keep enough players alive. And now the score is 3-1. So ENCE are on the arse end of things at the moment. They've got some money to do something. We'll see if they go for the full buy. It may be lacking, and indeed it will be the eco. So they'll just try to keep the CT money honest, not allow things to get too outrageous. Some Desert Eagles, a CZ75 purchase, and some utility to take position. Not a good start.
Yeah. I have to say, it was kind of interesting what ENCE were doing in that previous round. They ran to A, ran to B, ran to A, ran back to B again. It was pretty confusing, but Force managed to weather it, and they're having a good time here. These Deagles not really doing too much just yet. 3 players remaining here now for ENCE to try to get a headshot or 2, and there's an easy one for Alu, as he'll pick himself up the AK-47. But there is much more work to be done, James.
Yeah. In that previous buy round, Force did a good job of area control in the fashion in which they wanted to do it. Again, the pop flash, a 2-man play on banana, the smoke earlier on the balcony to thwart any fast plays through the balcony while they're vulnerable. And there's a pop flash again, but there's no transfer. suNny will trade the kill. He's a dab hand with a Desert Eagle, has to be said. Seen a lot of FPL highlights, but he'll be caught with a grenade in his hand. Jerry re-aggressing. And Alu, what has happened there? Maybe he wasn't expecting Jerry to be in that position. I think he was just going for a jump pick over the wall. Had opportunity with the AK-47, so that may be a frustrating end to that round, despite it being an eco.
Yeah, and you know what, like Force are a team that they're very legit. You know, I think we've seen that, especially coming out of the minors. You know, it's a team that they've done so much hard work, and they have a pretty solid game. I think one of the things that astounded us the most was their team playing cohesion, which is of course one of the more difficult elements to run at the top level of Counter-Strike. So I think a lot of people are gaining more and more respect. So nothing's a given against the likes of Fours. However, into this round, we'll see ENCE taking a more typical approach, and Fours actually themselves not, for once, going 3 towards Banana at the beginning of the round. Instead, they've just got 2. Although, as I say that, Flit's rotating around, so there'll be 3 there to defend. As the default starts to come in, the smoke at top Banana goes away. suRny looking to get position here. And in the meanwhile, ENCE have X7 and Aerial towards the apartments, ready and waiting to take position there as well. So, a slower round from ENCE. Oh dear. I think suRny took some damage there. Okay, well, it doesn't matter.
Pop flash play once again. Four's not shy of this. It is a classic play. Of course, they're lining up. It's going to be 3. suRny's still alive. That could have been even more of a disaster. 3 plays remain per side, and Fours don't have all the information as to what is going on. The bomb for the longest time was left in second mid. I do not believe they have seen it yet, Fours. So it's still a guess as to what exactly ENCE are going to do now.
Fours have managed to rotate ExaPower into the really good position. FaceCrack trying to play with the one-way the smoke there. ExaPower drops Aerial. There's 2 more players to go, though. But the time pressure is really on ENCE. They have to push forwards. They have to deal with these players right now. But it'll be ExaPower and FaceCrack, the duo, to win the day on the A bomb site as ENCE concede 1 more round. And now they're looking at a 4-round deficit. It's 5 for Fours. They're having a great start right now, Fours.
Opening kill from suNny, but that could have been the end of everything. Seemed it would happen on the A bomb sides instead, and indeed Fours. I think this early on, I wouldn't be surprised if they came away with the W. Obviously, being a full unit and having some very recent changes, but it has been quite a struggle. Again, it is Inferno, so you'd expect some familiarity, changing 1 player, but while 1 player on the roster may have been changed, roles might change on different halves and different maps and so on, so 1 player could mean 2 players changing positions and so on, so it can be more than it seems in terms of adjustment. There's a flashbang top mid. ExaPower will send some numbers. He'll drop some molotovs, and there could be a cleanup. Jerry trying to transfer. Wasn't sure somebody run past, and there are so many numbers now going towards CT spawn, and there's only 1 player towards B.
Yeah, AleksiB knows what's up though, and he's going to be able to trying to block this off with that smoke grenade. So he's trying to cut off construction, but ENCE could very well run through that with the pistols. He knows it, but they'll make their way through to coffins for the plant. AleksiB, great position there, and the M4 spray for days. It's going to get it done as he takes them all out, and that's going to be another one on the board for Fours.
6-1. A strong start for them, and I know a lot of people are tuned in looking to see something from ENCE. Of course, there are other games to play today, and this one is by no means over, but it's not a good start for them, obviously. Just the 1 round so far. We've got Alu coming out with the AWP now. So let's see what they're able to offer in this particular round. Not all the kills in the world for the T side, however. AleksiB on the B bomb site is 12-4-4. He's almost killed ENCE 3 times over, but he won't be getting any frags in this round.
Yeah, Ali will take fast position there, and I think that's some of the most success they've had there early on. FaceCrack, though, with that aggression towards the apartments. Good setup from Fours with ExaPower in there as well. That's going to work out. They lose the player towards Banana, but they're proactive towards A. Perfect. FaceCrack is going to be rotating away from A towards B, so I have to say, very nimble on the defense here so far, Fours. Very quick on their rotations, and perhaps ENCE have not been anticipating this, and we'll see if they can read it. Maybe they have, because they're going to rotate everybody back. suRny goes down, Flit with a dry peek. There was no warning for that one.
4v3. 3 of those 4 players for Fours towards this B bomb site. 2 in CT, and Jerry by the coffins. There's a boost on the flower pots. And they wait. A rotation back towards A begins. You can see it's the wide rotation again. From where Alu is standing, he would have heard the rotation via Speedway, which is why you see the CT taking the longer route. And it's just waiting. And waiting means that there's a higher likelihood of only 2 players being on the B bomb site rather than more, because Fours don't have the information as to where the players might be going. Pop flash to ask a question. There's no fire in response. A molly towards pool actually is not a bad idea, because if they were to push, if they get to that pool area, you can only see the head. Now they're going so slow. 16 seconds on the clock. This is a very labored push, and they took so long. It was so edgy, so perky proddy that 3rd player ended up rotating back towards the B bomb site. So that was extremely slow by ENCE, and I think it was too slow. There wasn't really any fluidity to that push.
Yeah, and one thing that Force have been so good at is just reading ENCE, seemingly. Like earlier I said, it seemed very gambly, and I'm going to have to perhaps do some more analysis as time goes on, looking at the rotations of Force. But they are moving very quickly, I must say, and it's been going so well for them. And you have to add also to the equation the fact that they are just straight up hitting shots. They're hitting some legit shots and getting some great kills and spray downs against ENCE. And ENCE haven't really found success. ENCE have mixed up their defaults. They've prioritized faster timings towards A. They've prioritized faster timings towards B. They've slowed down the pace, sped up the pace. They've mixed it up quite a fair bit, but Force just always seem to be good for the delivery of the Ws. And the Ws may continue here, James, because we have pistols on ENCE right now.
Yeah, I think there was a lack of wide swinging in that push from ENCE. They were basically looking for a 1v1 entry, standing in front of the site, but not really getting to abuse your advantages in that situation and playing on the terms of your opponent rather than your own. Triple HEs will do some damage, and our Mazer's finished off. Now Jerry's got so much to do. More importantly, he stays alive though, but I think he outstayed his welcome. If he was able to hold position there, retake of 4 players, that would have been more important than stopping a bomb plant when ENCE are probably at max loss bonus anyway, so I think that could have been better. But it seems the damage will be minimal herein. However, it is suNny the last man with the Desert Eagle, and again, he's got highlights on Reddit already. And maybe there's something to be done. Split's the only person by construction, just missing the headshot, and there'll be no more damage. 8-1 for Fours.
So far looking like a no-show from ENCE as far as their T side is concerned. They're yet to really show up, yet to arrive, but we'll see if that changes. There is still a good few rounds left in this one, in this half, of course. So plenty of time to turn things around. As James mentioned, they have plenty of money in terms of loss bonus. So they will be buying, again, especially with the bomb down, with the 3400 plus the 800, you get 4200. Fancy that. Full buy, AKs and all. However, Force looking to play a default set of this round. 2 towards B, 3 towards A. No aggression from EXIT Power, keeping it pretty chill. And ENCE will be quite default with their setup as well. Fast play towards top banana. They'll be slowed down slightly, but this is looking pretty like a standard default so far. Would expect them to go back towards... Oh, actually, no, they've actually abandoned. Okay, are they going to go straight in? James, they're playing contact straight through the smoke.
It might work out this time. Surely they've got an overwhelming numbers advantage now around the A-bomb site. Post-plant positions are coming very soon indeed. Fours ENCE have got a lot of entries towards that B-bomb site, but they've failed to convert, as you can see. But surely this one is a little too much to ask. There is money for Fours, so they may hang around just to try to eliminate some more ENCE players and make their other round somewhat tight for them. You can see them backing off, though, towards the A-bomb site. Passive angles being held, one and done spots with the AWP. So ENCE may have finally broken this B-bomb site. And again, Force have been caught off guard around this corner that suNny just went past in a number of different rounds. But for the most part, they've worked out for them. This one, though, will not.
Yeah, and that was a really fast contact play. That surprised me. When I saw... I forget which ENCE player it was. When I saw the ENCE player rotating out of the A position, I was like, hold on. Hold the phone. So ENCE with the surprising contact play will find success, but much like the first round that ENCE won, Force saved 3 weapons. So Force's economy is still, as James mentioned, in pretty good shape as they continue forwards. And ENCE are going to have to find a consistent approach here. You can't just run contact plays all the time. It's not incredibly consistent. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see EXIT Power moving his way towards that B-bomb site to try to stifle this quick take of Banana, as we saw in this round.
Yeah, so I think that's a nice response from ENCE, at least in the short term, as you mentioned, Dan, compared to that late push where they just looked for the first entry, didn't really go for that wide swing, abusing the numbers as you normally would on the T side and so on. So perhaps it is a period of adjustment for ENCE, their first official with suNny in tow. 2 to the 8 of Fours. There is still room to come back in this one. Again, these buys are very expensive for Fours, so they did save a number of players. Now, how deep does EXIT Power want to go? Jerry's boosting over towards B in the meantime. And the aggressive play in mid has been abandoned. They've fallen back from that position. Still 2 players towards B for Fours. Their turn to exchange some HEs. Nothing doing though, nobody by the tree.
Interestingly, though, the bomb is towards the B apartments right now, and ENCE are moving in there with 2 players. We saw this in a previous default of ENCE's, where they will actually bring the bomb quite far up. A lot of teams will actually leave it around the stairs when they're playing slower defaults. So, you know, I'm curious how this is going to work out for ENCE. They'll rotate back Mr. suNny from Banana to assist the push towards the apartments, whilst they keep presence towards top Banana, no doubts. Better wait those smokes out, though, and we get the boost, as you guys can see there, into the B-bomb site. So this setup can be pretty good when the set piece comes in. And, of course, Coffins gets locked away. And here it is, a double peek, and there goes suRgy.
They've pulled Flit out of position, and you can see the bomb is continuing to move deeper into the apartments. The flashbang is about to be deployed. Surely they're trying to make their way out. That's one way to do it with the AK-47. Now AleksiB is alone on the A-bomb site. There's still a rotation to pick off, and he's holding that angle while the bomb is planted on the site. So we'll see how the lurk goes. Top mid. Got to be wary of that, but there will be a flank, it seems, from Banana.
Yeah, this is a tricky one for fours. They could decide to save with... It looks like they're going to try to save with 4 players here. So this is kind of nuts, James. They will have lost 3 rounds, but in these 3 rounds, they saved with 3 players, and 4 players. That's actually kind of nuts, especially considering that it is an AWP saved every single one of those times, and Kevlar. So that's crazy. But I respect it. I do respect it. Of course, their money's not the best in the world. And AleksiB is going to pick off Alu, so that's always nice, isn't it?
Yeah, they're playing to their advantages. They're keeping their buys strong every round with how many players they're saving. And they did a good job post-plan to make it a little more expensive for ENCE.
AleksiB hasn't died yet. He's 4-0.
4-0, not bad.
That's quite funny.
In the meantime, X7 is 1-for-8. suRgy is 2-for-10. suNny, he's leading the charge, but it's hard to say he's doing well since they are 5 rounds behind. So I think it's a struggle for the entire team at the moment. But indeed, if they can break fours are trying to deny them. You can see FaceCrack's got... oh, sorry, I misread that. Never mind. Flip's got 7,800. AleksiB just shy of 10,000. So fours are doing well with their economy, but they need to keep the rounds low for ENCE. AleksiB may be on his way to do that. He's got a smoke in the molly and an angle down towards bottom Banana, but he's flashed off his position.
So we have... Ooh. Oh, dear. I think suRgy got caught with that before, actually, from AleksiB. Very cheeky damage through the half wall. And ENCE will go back towards the top mid position, towards the apartments as well, to go for that play in towards A. But would you look at this setup from Force? Looking pretty good here. Almeza waiting for him. The spray transfer is not bad. Headshots for days. And Force will pick up around, making it look easy.
Shut it down. I can hear the screaming from here. It seems that they realize the adjustment ENCE have made. They're trying to super simplify the situation. And that is certainly one way to do it. Great holes. They looked really prepared for that, so...
Preparedized.
That seemed to be something they were expecting, and that's a strong response after a number of rounds where they've had to save after losing initial position. 9-3 for fours.
It's really cool how much they're mixing things up. Hello. Got to be cautious there. suRgy spots the jump up, and they've done that a few times. Do they dare? Do they dare? Oh my god, suRgy. Oh, it feels so bad, James, because he knows it's happening, but he didn't want to hesitate in pulling a nade out. He didn't want to just wait forever. Wanted to get his nade in there.
Should have a teammate behind him getting the nade in there, so he's got his gun out.
Yeah, there you go. Very true, very true.
And he moves to 1-9. Having a nightmare in this first game here in Moscow, or Moscow, I guess it's pronounced.
Moscow.
And trying to deny information towards the top of mid. It's always nice when you've got an AWPer on the A-bomb site. You'll often see them trying to creep up short to answer back. ENCE making some footsteps, but there's no rotation just yet. And now that's starting, I think, from Jerry.
Yes, and there's a decent defense here in the back of the bomb site. FaceCrack there at the back, looking to do damage to the M4, waiting for them to push around the side of the smoke. The timing is key. The headshot position favors X7 as he takes down FaceCrack. And now it's just down to suNny and Alu on the bomb site with the bomb ticking away. Flits! What a flick from him as X7 falls. And now there's really it's not looking too bad now for fours as they start to make their way. And they're coordinating, they're rallying the forces.
There's still time. They both have defuse kits, Jerry and Flit, and now Alu is alone. He's got an angle by the Vespa. Flit has got 5 HP, and Alu's backing off very quietly indeed, and surely now it's too late for Flit. They've both got 5 HP, but what matters is that one of them has to defuse the bomb, and he's running out of time to even do that. Alu, he's a non-believer, swings wide, and he's won the round. Can he get away from the bomb though? Might not be likely. Flit definitely won't. 9-4 for ENCE.
Interestingly, James, sorry to interrupt you.
Yep.
Is ENCE's loss bonus is gone. So if they lose this round, because they're going to have to spend everything in this round, if they lose this round, they will actually be broke for that final one. So Force, who will have a full buy, will be able to convert, most likely, into an 11th round if they win this one. So Force are looking pretty good, all things considered. They're going to mix things up, going to spice it up. They are going to bring about a second AWP. AleksiB and EXIPower on those. And EXIPower, he's going to go for the peek in the... Oh, that's beautiful. Talk about team play. He gets the peek, gets the kill, takes the burn damage, but there is the smoke, and there's the second ult, by the way, ENCE. What a nasty surprise. I love the ballsy plays here from Force.
There's a gap in that smoke. Is he tempted to move a little further? He'll play it safe, AleksiB. Play to your advantage. The advantage is 5 versus 3. 3 of those players of the 5 from Force are towards this A-bomb site for now. Changing their setup. It's guesswork for ENCE, and it's very, very costly indeed. Aerial, one of only 2 remaining, trying to win, trying to fight, but he can't do it. Force make it to double figures. Very strong start to Inferno for them.
Yeah, they're definitely making... I mean, I was already a fan of Force, but it's so enjoyable to see them playing with so much confidence, not too scared to go for these peaks. I love that play into the Molotov. You can't really make a play like that without the confidence that your teammate's going to drop the smoke on the molly straight away so that you get into cover immediately after taking the shot. You don't take as much burn damage. I really like that. Oftentimes you won't necessarily see an AWP have a teammate doing that. So good to see Force landing at the worst moment that there was a double up setup. And this is what I was talking about. ENCE, they've only got pistols to play with now. Moving towards the A side of the map, as you can see them beginning to occupy the apartments. Aerial looking around there from Boiler. You got a good setup though from Force, not taking any chances here. 3 men around top middle, looking to fight with the superiority of their rifles. And would you look at that? Looking pretty damn good with those rifles. Just Ali left. And he'll get traded. 11-4 on the board for Force as they look dominating.
21 for 8. That is absurd from AleksiB. We'll see if it continues after the break. ENCE move into the second half with 4 rounds on the board, and it seems that they've got a lot to do, and maybe number 6 will be helpful for them. Fours have had a monstrous start. Great defenses towards the B bomb site, as evidenced by AleksiB's scoreline, 21-4-8. Flip 14-5. ENCE Power died once in that half.
That is not too bad, is it? It's not too bad at all. I had to say again, I was really impressed with the decisiveness and the confidence from ENCE. They clearly had a game plan going into this one, and they had really fast rotations too, which was really interesting, because that's the problem when you play the CT side of this map. It's just, it feels very difficult to get players in position in time, but they had no issue doing that. And now it's up to ENCE to do the same, but better, if they want to stand a chance in winning this map, this first map, this best of 1 against Fours. And again, I mean, even though ENCE have had this lineup change, they've taken out AleksiB, the IGL, they put in the star power of suNny to replace him. You still put ENCE as the favorite, absolutely, I would say. So Fours looking really good. Cannot wait to see what they have. James, ENCE Power's 1 death so far. That's bloody impressive.
It's not too shabby, is it? But it's likely to change in the pistol round, such is the nature of a pistol round. We've got Aerial having a look, seeing lots of players in the bottom of mid, and that doesn't really mean a whole lot. Look at the setup, though, for ENCE on Banana. They've got 3 players there with a pop flash being deployed, and they start to charge down. They've been heard, surely. This is good news for Fours if they can make it on the A bomb site, but Aerial's trying to deny them.
They will take down the Guardian of the Banana position there, and it'll be a 4 versus 3 in favor of ENCE. But the bomb will go down, and that's really the big win for Fours. At least you guarantee that money in the bank, give yourself options. But can they convert? Can they find a way to defend this? We've got suNny trying to line up a flash to allow his teammates in. That's going to go down towards the balcony. And there's the pop as X7 looks to get a peek. Where are these players? It's looking pretty good here for Fours. The defending 2 men from the pit position. ENCE Power forces his way forth from the bomb site itself, leaving suNny on 2 HP with a USP and a diffuse kit, and he does not like the looks of this. He's going to back away, save that kit. Doesn't even have any armor, unfortunately, but he'll save the kit at the very least. But a round for Fours here on the second half. That is not bad at all. That means that they have won both pistols.
Not too shabby at all. Not too shabby at all. It's a fantastic start for Fours, and it might be a false start for ENCE unless they can find a way to turn things around. We'll see if they choose to force it up in round number 17. Nothing really has gone their way in this half so far, but it has, I mean, in this game so far, excuse me, but it has to be said that it was a very cold start. Just the way they were trying to almost nudge their way into the B bomb site in some of those previous rounds. There was definitely some waking up to do. Nothing purchased in this round, apart from I guess the kit was maybe from the previous round, but either way. There won't be a significant investment here from ENCE. And the round is done. That's what we love to see. A fast eco round. The AK has been rescued. And now we'll see what ENCE have to offer. They've got a lot of work to do.
They certainly have, and there's no looking back now. They will have a UMP, but otherwise rifles, no AWP, unfortunately, and they're in a really annoying position, because if they went for the force buy and waited a couple rounds to save, they'd be playing from down from like 14. They'd be 4 to 14. So they go for the save and then the buy, but the problem is you don't have enough utility for this map. So we'll see how they mitigate that. They'll start with 3 towards B, but again, they can't dump utility on Banana because they have no way to fight the advantages of Force having just simply more utility to throw at ENCE. So if they were to take position, it would be quickly removed, and that would be a waste. So they sit back on the bomb site and they play passive, they play standard. It's definitely a bad spot here for ENCE. X7's, oh my god, he's taking so much damage there from that HE grenades. suNny's in the back of the bomb site with a smoke and an M4. So they can re-smoke that position. It really looks like Fours were thinking about going for a set piece on this B bomb site, And then we'll bring about 1 more player on the rotation.
Okay, so the bomb is bottom mid. You can see the red outline of the bomb carrier. Now, these footsteps will be heard by the players on the A bomb sites, and it is causing Alu to rotate, but his rotation should also be heard. Again, by AleksiB, the position he was in, he should hear that, so they should realize that there's probably 2 players towards this B bomb site. Maybe why they start to rotate back, and now they clear out the A bomb site, the B bomb site, excuse me, and Alu's in construction. Bombs being planted just in time. They've lost control of construction. Ali might get a free kill now. AleksiB seems to have no idea.
However, Ali didn't get a kill, so he was not able to capitalize from that and gives his position up. So Force will really try to play the time here. And again, there's no utility. Once flashbang, there it goes. And here is the push. This is it. Do or die time for ENCE. Oh, not a bad shot for FaceCrack. Picks up a double. And you know what? He's going to get all three, in fact. Great work from FaceCrack. Very happy indeed. 14-4 as ENCE's first buy is down the toilet. They're going to have to play against match point. That's not good. That's not a good look. Look at FaceCrack go. Beautiful, clean, clinical. And that's 14-4. They're going to... Okay, so ENCE are going to force it up. They don't want to allow Force to play from match point. I respect it. I think this is a fine approach for sure. Nothing is good at this point. There's no good. There's no.
There is no ideal. Ideal has left the building. We do what we can. Fours are on fire, and ENCE are making their way through the apartment. So you've got to get more than one bullet landed here with this UMP. FaceCrack on the other hand just needs the one. That'll do. There's another player in the apartment, but there'll be a switch if they can get the block out of the way. Molotov not quite hitting the mark there. FaceCrack in the red. Now that's two. So again, with a fast fire rate of the MP9, he's actually made this winnable in a weird way. AleksiB, FaceCrack, AleksiB, all with less than 10 HP.
Yeah, this will be quite fragile at this point. And X7's very deep on the banana positions, so he can offer a flank or he can certainly do some damage. He does have the deagle, however. Now, ENCE have to make some choices here. Of course, the choice that they've made so far is to keep the second player, or rather, I should say the third player, suNny, towards that banana position with X7. And Alu is all alone on A. And Flitz moving towards the Moto position, towards Library. So he's going to get a good vantage point on A. So they will, as soon as Flit pushes more forwards, they can split onto this A bomb site. And Alu should not be able to do much. They should be able to just simply trade Alu with the backstab. Here comes the push. Alu, how much can he get as one? The second won't go his way, even though his FaceCrack was so low. And now it looks desperate again for ENCE.
Oh, close one for AleksiB, but that's a warning shot. Holds position. This is nervous for Fours, but it gets less so, and it's a 1 versus 4. They managed to hold Jerry, the forward man, with more health than most of his teammates. You can see Flit's got an AK as well. And there we go. It's match point for Fours, and plenty of them. Again, ENCE have not really seemed to be in this game from the start. This is a shock to the system to begin with. But there's plenty more CS to come, should they lose this one promptly, as I think they probably are going to.
Wow. AleksiB has 148 ADR, James.
Not too shabby.
And Jerry's on 101. That is not bad at all. Not too bad, not too bad.
What accent is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we have ENCE with a lot to say for themselves. They need to win this round so they can, have an AWP in their future, have a future. And they'll have 3 towards B again. Fours looking so damn confident. AleksiB was not expecting such a strong, such a solid performance from him. Fours will slow things down now as they are having to wait out the smokes towards top mid. However, as I said, that FaceCrack and AleksiB gain position towards the B apartments. And oh my god, Flitz expecting 2 headshots, and it looks like a no-show here as far as ENCE are concerned, James. Flit looking to finish the job. X7 will survive, but I don't know if I would want to survive in this situation. I think I would want to be put out of my misery.
And he probably will be. Let's see what he chooses to do. X7 has no defuse kit. He's got a HE grenade, which is unlikely to see any use, and AleksiB will finish off the job. A monstrous 16-4 for Fours. A great start to Blast Moscow for them. For ENCE, a false start, but there's time to recover. For now, though, we will head towards the B